anyone can record. Okay. Right. So let's start the class. Any you're able to see the screen, right? You are seeing the screen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, can see. Can you just tell me how to record? It's a bit confusing.
I think you need have this one, I guess. Click on this, you will get it.
No.
Is this a place you will record? This one is the one. Would you able to?
No, I'm not able to.
Is Mahesh
Mahesh?
is not recording?
Yeah, he is recording, I think.
Yeah, because he told me that I'm going to record all the session and give it to you, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, he
he is
said that?
recording.
Okay. Because when I spoke to him yesterday, I'm not sure who I spoke to, and that person told me that it's better that if I get organizer access and then I record it myself, then wait for them.
Mahesh, you there?
Anil, can you record it?
Yeah, I think, yeah. So once you click here, it is showing, right? This is the place.
Click what?
Okay, okay. Recording has stopped now. If you restart recording, it will start again. Click on it. Okay, this here you will see that the session being recorded. That means the recording has been started, right?
Yeah, but that is from your end, right?
No, I have made you an organizer as well, so you can do the
It's
same thing.
okay. I'll call them and ask them later. It's okay, fine. Go ahead with the class.
So, yeah. So now, yesterday we have seen about the having project manager and how it is helpful for the company or for the project. And, how what are the difference, similarities and differences both will be having, and what is the common objective we will be working on, what are the different skill set each should have, and uh, things like that. And today we'll be seeing that how the business analysis has been professionally uh, coming into picture, and how it is helping the IT project management side, and the career, a little bit on the career of business analyst, things like that. Okay. So the problem with the projects, the enter of IABA, basically the Institute for Business Analysis, exponential growth, the BA body of knowledge, certified BA professional. Enter the business analyst, the BA role, past and future, managing projects for value. Emergence of BA COE, this is nothing but PMO we call it today as Project Management Office, the benefits and implementation consultations. All these things we will learn today. So problem with the projects basically after dot-com burst, before dot-com burst, see that there is a lot of change in the the software industry maturity level. 2000 before, we can, if you see that the software industry is mature, the people were on the didn't know much of technology. All the software has been in the used to send through the keys and all, which there is not much complex technologies and all. So after 2000, if you see, there's a lot of changes that has been happened in the software industry. Much more complex projects has been handled, and thereby there is a gap in the analysis part of understanding the clear requirement in the customer. Okay. So what is happening on the project during that period is basically the complex suddenly are becoming into complex and taking too long. Almost all involvement as in IT company, constant pressure to deliver faster, better, and cheaper results, riddled with of unproven technology, outsource global teams, and enterprise-wide implementation. Okay, so everyone wants to implement IT in their company. So in that sense, they want go the best from the market. So they want to implement some of the other IT solutions, starting with some kind of financial services like Tally or Oracle Financials, and then slowly move towards the automation of every other department as well. So this is creating a lot of confusion between the IT industry and as well as the contract because of the complexity of handling the projects. Usually,
Uh, Anil, just a minute, okay? Just can you hold a second?
yes, yes, yes.
एक minute. Okay. Yeah, Anil.
So that's what is happening on the project side during that. So if we see the those type of 2000 survey, most of the projects have been a failure projects because failure in the sense like either you are not understanding the customer properly and you're not able to deliver the proper requirements of the customer, or you are just dragging uh, the project in order to sustain the project in a long run. So that making a project a failure. So that is where the industry experts thought that this is not going to uh, do in a wrong way, sustaining the IT as a global impact. So they started, a body called a governing body called the IAB, International Institute of Business Analysis. So this body then has evolved and started governing all IT projects, and 2004 it has been started. 2003, 2004 it has started. So after uh, principle that has been laid, they have written a book called BABOK, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, in which they will give a detailed analysis how to do a project, how to approach the project, what are kinds of requirements we need to gather, what requirements analysis, kind, types of requirements analysis. All this has been, properly uh, guided as a Bible for the IT industry. So if we can see, in 2006, the survey has given a positive result that the failure rate has been decreased. Okay, the success rate has been increased. That means this principle has been worked out in the industry. So change cannot be made in a single day. So over the period of time, 15 years, they have been under the scrutiny and say that the industry is responding to the positive side towards the IABA recommendation. Okay, that's how people started recognizing business analysis as a career path. The cost of the failure usually be around 80 to 140 billion per year because you will be spending a lot of rework on the failed projects. So many projects are being rolled back and end users, 40% of end users are having problems while implementing the solution. Projects are too big and too complex. Projects are not iterative. Okay, the traditional PM higher schedule, adaptive PM methods are working. Requirements are ambiguous. 60 to 80% of project failures are attributed to directly to the requirements. Okay, so you are not analyzing the requirement of the customer properly. So the foundation is weak here. If the foundation is weak, you cannot build a building, right? Similarly, if the requirements are weak, you cannot uh, tell or you cannot guide a programmer that what is being asked from the customer side and what to be delivered from the IT companies, IT consultancy side. So in order to build the gap, bridge the gap, the the in a business analyst career has been created and the role has been created and this role has been given a specific skill and task in order to maintain the relationship with the client for the requirements gathering and requirements analyzation. Clear?
Yeah.
21st century of projects are virtually all organizations of any stage in large scale transforming one kind of other. Contemporary projects are about add value to the organization through breakthrough ideas, optimizing business processes, using information technology as a competitive advantage. So IT is no more a runner in the sense like you do some back-end operations and all. But IT is a strategic advantage for the companies who wants to be ahead of the competition. Like the people are going for a latest technologies, latest uh, enterprise-wide applications because to make sure that they want to reach to the customer as early as possible than the competitor. So because of that, initiatives that has the companies been adopting, the IT industry has been slowly, taking the new steps of reinventing the new technologies and adopting to the culture of the companies. Clear? Why suddenly there was a complexity in the projects? Basically, there are large mergers and acquisitions have been happening these days. These days, in the sense, last, if you see last uh, 8 to 10 years, there has been new strategies that has been coming up. Global competition has been more. Emergence of new technologies, and the need of drive direction of the business. So you need to concentrate on the core business, not on everything what the company is into. Most changes accompanied by organizational restructuring, new partnerships, cultural transformation, downsizing and right-sizing, enabling IT systems. Others implement new lines of business, new areas of business, making the competition world in a world mode. Nature of complexity of the project has been defined these days by IABA. Uh, you know, treat independent projects, moderately complex projects, and complex or highly complex projects. The project size is less than 3 months, and it is around 250K. We call it as an independent projects. Basically, these kind of projects are an internal projects, which has got some kind of experienced leadership with 3 or 4 unexperienced staff. You can manage these kind of projects. Moderately complex projects are 3 to 6 months, and below 750K. Team is staffed with some kind of some experience, internal and some external resources. Then highly complex projects runs more than 6 months and above 750K. It contains more than 10 members, and basically the structure is complex, independent team structure. We have some virtual teams, culturally diversified teams, outsourced teams and all. Okay, so one team is sitting in UK, one team in India, one team in US. So both all work together to form a global virtual team for the completion of the project. Okay, and there is a strategic advantage of having the global teams as well, because the people will be working 24/7. Okay, so if the project is running and the US people will be working when India is sleeping, right? So similarly, the UK people will be working between India and US. So the companies are thinking in a strategic manner to see that the work is going around 24/7. So there is no stoppage in the work that has been assigned, making sure that the project is running at any point of time, given the uh, any point of time in the day, right? And
So,
then the compute, yeah,
what is competitive? First, I want like how they calculate the size of the time of the project.
so during the planning itself, there will be an estimate. Okay. So out of experience, because experience, this module will be taking 2 months time, 3 months time. Okay. Or depending on the complexity of the module, analyzing the requirements of the customer, they will get to know, okay, this module can be done with our resources, with the experience, one experienced staff and 10 other staff, you can do this project in. You will not give an exact time. We will be giving a tentative time, like 180 hours, 200 hours, and all. Here and there, definitely there will be a change, because as you move on, you will see a lot of things that have been coming up, and you will, once you are mid of the project, you can submit a supplementary plan to the customer that we may not reach to the target date. Probably you can extend uh, some more time. A week, give us a week's time for us, something like that. Okay, that is possible, because you can always review review the plan depending on the rapport you got with the client, and the client, you know, uh, most of the times will be will not object to these kinds of adjustments, unless, because normally what happens in the IT industry is you will commit one date to the customer and commit some other date to the internal staff, internal team. Suppose you have committed that I will be completing the project by December 2015. You will give a target date to your team that it should be completed by October 15 itself. That means you will have again 2 months of buffering time. In case the project slips also, there is enough time for you to adjust in between, and the rest of the time you will be working on some kind of a testing to see that the system is stable. Okay?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
Right. So the scheduling, budgeting, and scope are flexible in independent projects. The scope, the schedule, budget can be undergo minor variations, whereas in highly complex projects, it's a very aggressive schedule. Deadlines are fixed and cannot be changed. The budget, scope, and quality has no flexibility. So all these things are tied up. So highly complex projects will be work on an urgent need. Problem clarity solutions, easily understood problem and solutions. Solutions are readily achievable using the existing technologies. There is a moderately complex things that either the problem is difficult to understand, the solution is unclear. There is a highly complex things that both problem and solution are difficult to define or understand. Solution is difficult to achieve, likely to using the unproven and independent complex technologies or highly complex strategies. Okay, so because of these things, the highly complex projects are deemed in a specialized category. Stability of requirements. So you understood the requirements straightforward and you will finish it in a given time. We call it as independent project. If it is requirements understood but expected to change, the client is unclear of what the requirements would be. But he is clear of some of the things, he may not be clear of some of the things. Then we call it a moderate to complex projects. Requirements are fully understood and are interrelated and largely undefined. So we call it as a highly complex again. So no political implications on the independent projects. One or more stakeholder groups are being affected. We call it as a moderate to complex. If it is multiple stakeholders conflicting the expectations of interrelationships, then we call it as a highly complex projects again. Then the level of change impacts a single business unit. If it impacts 2-3 business units, we call it as a moderate complex. In highly complex method, aggressive scope, large scale organizational change that impacts across the enterprise, and functional groups or agencies, shifts or transformation of the organization, we call it as highly complex. Okay. Any doubts in this?
Can you explain this level of change again? Like,
Okay. Basically, for unit, a business unit has been impacting. Suppose you are implementing some kind of an ERP solution for an organization. For there are different departments like marketing, finance, HR, and all. So some kind of the sales, you are doing it in a wrong way. Your implementation is wrong, uh, taken a wrong input, and so that means the sales department has been affected by the implementation. Instead of taking some kind of a sales order, it is not populating a right value. So that means only one single unit has been impacted. Okay.
okay.
Then if it is some kind of financial uh, account receivables or account payables are being affected, that means the finance is related to 2-3 business units. They're purchasing, inventory, finance, sales. That means this has been impacted with different more than 2-3 business units. We call it as a moderately complex. Highly skilled organizational impact, basically across enterprise level. So it is a strategy of implementing itself is being affected. That means the whole of the departments, all the departments, whole company has been affected with some kind of a implementation. We call it as a highly impacted by the different and also other stakeholders, the interrelated stakeholders, the investors, competitors. So all these things are impacted. We call it as a highly complex. For example, um, complex methods we can tell you like the IRCTC is not working. From any bank portal, internet banking is not working. Okay. There are many groups that have been affected, right? There's the consumers, retail investors, global investors, all kind of banking staff, companies who are approached to the loans. So these are all the people who are affected with the banking sector. Similarly, the IRCT, the railway reservation system is not affected. It will affect the staff, it will affect the government, it will affect the political side of implications, it will affect the common man. So everyone will be affected with this. So all this comes under a highly situations where within one change you will affect multiple. Clear?
Yes.
As I said, the PMs are on the past not specifically on the narrow orientation and technical implementation side. They were only focused on project schedule and specifications. Though the role of PM has been changing, he's also been given some kind of a business management skills burden and encompassing all aspects of business, and the customer customer's business, not just only the coding part. So thereby assisting the business analyst in giving him a right strategies and giving him the right in order to do the project. Okay. So business analyst and the project manager becomes a highly effective project management team in order to successfully implementation of the project in the company.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
sure.
this.
Yeah. Please tell me where do you get you
Like, what
stuck.
is the role undergoing major transformation due to new business realities? Like, like, can you explain this?
Yeah. Previously, the PM used to do only the coding part, only used to do the technical part. Okay. He's only more concentrating whether you write a code for 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. That means A plus B equal to B. C should be 5, A should be 2, B should be 3. So if you write this algorithm, if you are executing something good, then you are good. So that is not the way the present world is working. You should understand the particular business the customer you are working on. The particular uh, the business requirements, what is the objective of the customer you implementing this. What is that he'll be getting by implementing this? So that means on the business side also the PM has been getting if the business because the business analyst is working on the business strategy. As a PM, we have to give some kind of a direction to him in order to make sure that both are on same page. Okay.
Anil, just a minute. Are you using the same system? Because yesterday the voice was very clear. Today there's an echo in that.
I'm using the same system actually.
Kartika, can you hear properly?
Y- Yeah, I hear him the same way. I don't find any difficulties.
Okay.
I can hear your voice, Anil, background.
I can hear you, but yesterday it was very clear. Today it's not really clear.
So, but I don't do anything to,
Yeah, go on.
but,
I can hear you, so that's okay.
but I can hear the echo of yours.
Okay, you
Okay.
go on.
Uh, I mean, clear now. You have still some
Yeah.
confusion.
No, yeah, clear.
Okay. So, the PM is adopting to the business management in order to guide the business analyst. That is what the sentence says. Okay.
Okay.
And then the IABA, as I said, the uh, business analysis body of knowledge has been divided into 7 parts. So basically, it has been divided in the fundamentals, requirements, enterprise analysis, requirements planning and management, requirements sensitivity, requirements analysis and documentation, requirements communication, and solution assessment and validation. Okay, so these are the 7 parts that have been uh, the whole project execution has been divided, and you see that there is a lot of stress that has been given on the requirement side. Okay, how do we plan the
Uh,
requirement? How do you manage a requirement? How do you elicit requirement? How do
Can
you
you
analyze?
can you give us an example, like just state one real life experience project that you handled and give an example for each column, like enterprise analysis, this is what you do, and requirement elicitation, this is what you do. Because there's requirement in almost all over there, so it's
Yeah, so 70% of the business analyst lives revolve around the requirement. Okay, so because this is the requirements are very fundamental for any project, because unless you understand the customer's business, and understand the
so
requirement of
you'll
the
get this
customer.
requirement from the developer, tester, or your project manager, right?
No, no, you will be getting the
Or from one
requirement
of them.
from the client. You will be getting the requirement from the client, right? Suppose,
Yeah, that's the main requirement that your project manager will get, right? And then you'll be working under him, right?
not the project manager, you will be getting, as a business analyst, you are the
Okay.
person who to get the requirement. On the objective side, yes, the project manager will, suppose there is a project. So yeah, I will give you my live example. We work for a
Okay.
Dubai seaport. Okay,
Okay.
Dubai seaport has want to implement some ERP system, the marine management system into their business. Like the
Okay.
conventionally how they are doing it, they want to make him automation across their enterprise, so that for there to automate everything will be on the system. They don't want any paper-based thing going forward. So everything should be on the system, on the materials management side, supply chain management side, the ships onboarding side, on the vehicle. We call it a vehicle, not a ship actually. The vehicle onboarding uh, and kind of the marine management. the customs side, all these things should be handled over the project. And we should go, that is the broader picture. Okay, that
Mm.
is what a project manager will be getting in. So, but that doesn't solve any kind of a problem because you need to then, as a business analyst, what did I do? I went to each and every department. Okay, for the marketing, started with marketing department. I went to the marketing department and understand how they are functioning right now, conventional, how they are working
Okay.
without implementation. Okay, that is called it as a as-is model. Then, what kind of the system they are expecting? That is called to be model. So once the implementation has been done, there will not be any gaps. This is what we want. This is what they want. We will document everything.
So this will
Because
come under documentation. You mean okay, the requirement analysis and documentation.
right. Okay. So
Okay.
this is what is called a requirements gathering. You are gathering the customer's requirement in a detailed manner, and where are the
Okay.
gaps you will strike. And after gathering the requirement, you will again there will be a lot of iterations that will go on because the client the requirement should not be will not be fulfilled at one go. You will write the requirements gathering report
Mm.
and send it to the customer. He will add one or two fill to that, and then you will go through that and again uh, send it to. So there will be a iterations, 3 4 days iterations will go on, and you will finalize the requirements of that particular department. Okay. So similarly, you will go to different departments and get the requirements, and fully you will gather all the requirement strategies and put together to form as a business requirement document. That means
Okay.
you are putting at every stage of the requirement. So some of the departments may not be responding to your questions. Some team may be in some other geographical location. They may not be, some team may be in Australia, let's take. You may not go to Australia to get the requirement. Right? You will be getting through a phone or an email or some kind of a questionnaire. You will put some kind of a questions uh, and ask them within the time frame within 3 days they should respond, and then gathering the requirements, answers to the requirements of the questions that you have been posed. And there will be a lot of reluctance also from the department side because we have faced a lot of reluctance usually on the government projects because the people will not accept change. So you will be working for 30 years in a conventional mode, so 30 years in a conventional system is coming in. So usually the old people of above 50, 55 years will not accept these changes and they will not give you a proper information. So in that sense, as a business analyst, you should elicit, no, you should dig more and more information from for him. More information you will get from the customer, betterment for you for the for the project and for your implementation team as well. Okay. So I
Okay.
will let you more requirement class. I will take a separate requirement class for requirement, and then I will explain you what are the tools we gather the requirements, what are the strategies we of gathering the requirements. I will explain you there. Okay. But to brief
Okay.
what it is. This will help you understand, how to gather the requirements. Yeah, right. I will also share some of the documents that you will that working, on the job or on the or the clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Those organizations that first adopt that master analysis elevate into leadership role will have to the marketplace, align projects to the business strategies, value to the enterprise or give competitive advantage. So who will understand the business analyst should be there in the project will have the advantages of being, better placed in the market, having a competitive advantage, better understanding of the customer, implementing the business strategies on the projects. So all this will happen. So business analysis role, as I told you, you will be working on different things, different 30% on the business analysis, project management, uh, 19%. You will be working with developer, engineer, coordinating basically on this developer, engineer, and development lead, with the subject matter and domain expert, the tester, and others. Okay, so that means you will be working on different things in order to make sure that you will be an effective implementation of a project. Business analysis career path. You will start as an associate, then intermediate, senior, and strategic levels. So as an associate, you will perform some simple tasks, assistance, help desk support, and having some kind of business writing skills. At intermediate level, you will able to perform simple to moderately complex tasks with minimal assistance. You will have a elicit, analyze, specify, validate, and manage requirements. You will do some kind of requirements modeling on the workshop facilitation side. At the senior level, you will be ability to perform a complex task with minimal coaching, elicit, analyze, specify, validate, and manage requirements. And you will do a lot of requirements engineering before going into the project. And then the strategic level, you will be having a minimal direction, strategic planning and enterprise analysis, mentoring, systems engineering, enterprise architecture, and business case development. At the strategic level, you will be doing all these kinds of
So can you explain like which BAPs or what is BPR and what is requirement modelings, like what kind of models we need to
things.
use?
BPR is the process re-engineering.
Sorry?
Okay, some business process re-engineering, BPR.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Means if a company is following some process,
Mhm.
they find that that is not an effective process. They will approach you and ask you, is there any fault in our business process? Then you will re-engineer the company's business processes. So this should not be do like this. You should do like this. Okay, you will,
Mhm.
and this is the process where you will reinvent the wheel. This is the process where you should automate. This role is not needed, or this role should be included. Okay? All these kinds of uh, consulting you will do in order to make sure that you are re-engineering the entire process of the company for the betterment of the company's strategies or okay. Six Sigma is also similar kind of process where you see, you will reduce the steps in the manufacturing, basically to the manufacturing side. Only 1 million, there are only 3 million.
Okay. And under the strategic, it says ability to perform strategic tasks with minimal direction, right? So, what sort of strategic tasks are they talking about over there?
Yeah, we have had a discussion yesterday. Uh, strategic tasks are basically on the business case development side. Um, you're having if a company your company should take this project or not.
Oh, okay.
You will do a case, you will do a business case for it. You will do a lot of SWOT analysis for it. You will do whether you have to invest
Okay,
one
okay.
to get a 10 crore project. Okay? But you are not sure whether the project will be successful. Project has to be successful, you need to invest 1 crore. Uh, but you don't have an experience. All these kinds of business case you need to develop and make sure that you have to convince
Okay.
the management that okay, let's take it. I'm
Okay.
confident we can do. So why do you want to do? You need to
So the yeah. So
you
the
need to
higher you go, is it like you need more technical skills or you'll use more business
nowhere
skills
skills are
from
required.
associate to strategic?
Nowhere technical
Sorry?
skills are nowhere the technical skills are required.
Oh, okay.
Technical skills,
No, by technical, I mean like using the tools and all that. As a business analyst, you use a lot of tools that you mentioned earlier, right? That agile and
yeah,
all the other stuff.
that anyway you will be learning. Uh, Coding is not required, definitely.
Ah, not
But,
the coding part. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The other
but
tools.
to understand the technology. If somebody is working on some kind of a technology, that you should know, okay, this technology is uh, should be known to you. Like somebody is working on
Got it.
JavaScript, or somebody is working on Joomla, somebody is working. So somebody is working on some kind of latest technologies. You should know you should know the technology, not the coding part, at least on the literature part, at least on the theoretical, because that is where you will connect to the customer. That is where you will connect to the client,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
the client will hire you only because he thinks that you know better than him. Okay, you should be a constant learner of
Mm.
these technologies, latest technologies that has been coming in the in the market, what is happening on the business side. All these things you will be learning from your side in order to engage the customers with different methods and all. Uh, but not on the core coding part. You will never be on the coding part, so you need not worry about it. But learning
Okay.
is always, I mean, the IT industry is like that. Okay, continuous, you should be in a continuous learning mode, unless otherwise you will be paid off. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one part. Then there is something called the alternate career path is all this remains same, but you will be becoming a business consultant, like a feasibility studies, new business opportunity analysis, then business case and portfolio analysis, and under the business as a business consultant side. Okay, so as you start as an associate business analyst, senior business analyst, and business consultant. So you will, as an associate business analyst, you will be working on the trouble tickets resolution and all. As a business analyst, you will be working on planning and execution. Then the senior business analyst will be working on business case presentations and client proposals and coaching. And then as a consultant, you will be more on the feasibility analysis, business case studies, portfolio analysis, this kind of work of that sort. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Staffing surveys reveals that the increasing demand for the senior BS who are multi-skilled, so having a technical, analytical, business, and leadership skills. So on the technical part, you should be learning the systems engineering concepts and principles, complex modeling techniques, communication of technical concepts to non-technical audience, testing, verification, and validation, technical writing, rapid prototyping, technical domain knowledge. Okay. On the analytical skills, you will be learning a lot of fundamentals of business analysis, ability to conceptualize and
What do you
think.
mean by system engineering concept?
Yeah, system is so basically the how the how everything should be working, how the concepts of the networking is working, also the database works, the testing works, how the effective project management as a whole works. Okay, how the requirements
And technical
will work.
writing?
Technical writing is nothing but a documentation.
Okay.
Presentation.
Documentation.
Explain like what is complex. See, there are so many kind of modeling techniques in like
Right.
in finance field. Is there are some models, in technical. So can you explain which, for example, like which kind of model?
Yeah, complex modeling is basically um, on the enterprise level side. How do you how do you how do you model a particular uh, how do you model a particular situation? How do you model a particular uh, what are the predictive analysis you can make it up. So this I will explain you later. But this is nothing related to us. Again, nothing related to the coding part. Only modeling side will applies to the understanding the client business. Okay.
There are so many kind of models, like in suppose if you take for example in uh, finance like risk model, then so in generally the
Uh,
techniques,
sorry,
which technique,
sorry. Can you come
which
again?
which techniques are used like in today's world, right? In latest, which models, there is even so many tools also used for modeling.
Right. Yeah. So that is all depends on the predictive analysis, marketing strategies, different marketing strategies, models and all. So there is no definitive uh, uh, models that has been used, but there are many models out of which you need to understand what is happening on the business side of the client.
So that is means like each industries use different kind of models, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So there is nothing like hard and fast rule that you need to do only this model, but for the different industry, depending on the market size or market situation, market the competition and all. Okay.
Yeah.
Then on the analytical skills, you will be understanding the fundamentals of analysis, ability to conceptualize and think creatively, techniques to plan, document, analyze, trace, and manage requirements, requirement risk assessment and management, administrative, analytical, and reporting skills, cost benefit analysis, time management, personal organization. On the business side, business process improvement on engineering, strategic business planning, communication of business concepts to the technical audience, business outcome and thinking, business writing, business case development, and business domain knowledge. On the
Okay.
leadership, you will be having the project management fundamentals, capacity to articulate vision, organizational change management, management of power and politics, problem solving, negotiation and decision making, team management, authenticity, ethics and integrity, customer relationship management. Okay.
Okay.
So if you look into it, they will never tell you about the coding part. You should be having the coding skills. So as a business analyst, you need not be a coder. You need not learn what is a Java, what is a .NET, what is C Sharp, what is SAP basis. But you should know what technology is all about, what does it do, what is the theoretical concept of it. So that is a successful business analyst. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's still class, but we'll wind up for today, and then we'll continue from here.
So we'll continue this slide tomorrow again.
Yeah, same,
Okay.
same. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anil.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Love you.
So Anil, um,